All right, welcome into this week's episode of Power 5 Picks brought to you by Better in Green. I am joined once again with Ethan. Ethan, we finally have some Big Ten games on the slate this weekend. Excited. Obviously, we're both Big Ten guys. You can see I'm wearing my Michigan stuff. Ethan got his ugly Spartan green on over there. But excited to talk some football, but more excited to talk some Big Ten. Happy to have you here.
Yeah, happy to be here as always. Can't wait to talk a little college football. Obviously, we do have the Michigan State game this weekend, which is huge for you Michigan fans, huge for us Michigan State fans. This year doesn't mean a whole lot to anybody else. Hopefully, a couple years from now, we can actually have a true rivalry type game going on. But we are going to talk about it since we needed a fifth game, and it is a big rivalry between the two of us. But yeah, happy to be here. Can't wait to get into the games.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it while it lasts because as soon as basketball season rolls around, it's gonna be all Sparty. So we'll be enjoying my Michigan football for the time being. But quickly talk on the records. You are 8-6-1. You went 2-2-1 last week. I am back to even 7-7-1. We both pushed on that Washington Oregon game. Honestly, a great game. The overhit in the last couple minutes. So great game, super fun. But yeah, both technically, I think I'm. If you go in minus 110 bets, I'm a little negative, but you are in the positive at 8-6-1. Let's continue that. We had a tough start, so we're kind of playing from behind. But it looks like the last 2 weeks we've kind of figured it out. Both profitable the last 2 weeks. So yeah, let's just go into it. I do put graphics on which side we pick, and I put mine on yours, and I think I know exactly the five you're gonna pick. So I'm gonna see if I can correctly pick yours or guess what your side you're gonna go. So I'm interested to see that. But the first game, the best game, finally a Big Ten game. We have Penn State, number 7, traveling to number 3, Ohio State. Ohio State is a 4.5-point favorite at home. The over/under is sitting at 45. What are your thoughts on the big boy game of the weekend?
Yeah, let's see if you have me figured out. Sounds like maybe you do, but we're typically kind of on the same brain length. So we'll see. But I love Ohio State in this game. Love
That's one
Ohio
for
State.
one.
Okay. Yeah, I Penn State is undefeated against the spread. They're a covering machine. I think they're kind of the public dog. Like everyone's going to want Penn State to win this game. I want Penn State to win this game. Just think, yeah, everyone's going to be on them. I think the line is short. Last year, this game was at Penn State. I believe Ohio State was a 9-point favorite or somewhere in there, maybe even double digits, 11. They ended up winning, but not covering that game. I think Ohio State is honestly probably a touch better this year. Now they're at home. The line's only 4.5. So I just think you're getting value. Penn State, like I said, they've covered every game, but they played West Virginia, Delaware, Illinois, Iowa, Northwestern, and UMass. So, I mean, this is their first real game. Ohio State did struggle when they stepped up and played Notre Dame, but ultimately came away from that game with a win. So I think the value's on Ohio State here. I think 4.5 is a gift. I think they probably win this one by double digits. Unfortunately, like I said, I do kind of want Penn State to win it, but I would look for Ohio State minus the 4.5. It's probably my favorite bet on the board that we're talking about today. And I would look for this game to go over as well. I think it's just a little bit too low at the 45.5 last I checked.
Yep.
I would look for the over, but favorite bet is Ohio State minus 4.5.
Let me just dive back into one thing you said there. Did you say this Ohio State team's better than last year's Ohio State team?
I think they could be. I
Okay.
think they haven't shown it, but
Haven't
I
shown it
think when
once.
the dust has settled, I
Okay.
think they could be.
Okay. Defensively, they are better than last year. I'll admit that. Their defense. So, first of all, both defenses unreal. In total defense in NCAA, Penn State is 1, Ohio State is 7th. In scoring defense, Penn State is 2, Ohio State is 3, meaning the points allowed per game. If you're guessing who number 1 is, it's also a Big Ten team, and it's on my head and my shirt. You're also wondering about who's number 2 on total defense. It is what's on my head and on my shirt. But on Big Ten, we all know defensive team. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not buying this Ohio State team. They should have lost to Notre Dame. Both teams honestly looked like trash in that game. Notre Dame kind of blew it at the end. Ohio State marched all the way down, had one impressive drive, which was the last drive of the game where they scored a touchdown. I got a couple stats here about Penn State too. They are, like you said, 6-0 against the spread, Under James Franklin, they are 1-11 versus top 10 teams. And under James Franklin, they're 0-9 on the road against top 10 teams. So
Ooh.
statistically, it's not looking great for Penn State. I agree. A lot of people are going to talk about them covering the six games in a row this year. I think they're the only defeated team or undefeated team on the spread in college football as of now. I'm not sure if that's true, but 90% that's true. Um, yeah, I think Penn State's. I'm honestly, as a Michigan fan, terrified of Penn State. Ohio State doesn't scare me this year, and I really need to start getting scared by them. But I think Penn State. I don't know. I think they're fed up. I think this is a team to do it. Their defense is great. Their offense is great. A little worried about quarterback, but Ohio State's quarterback's also trash. So I'm gonna take Penn State plus the points here. It's 4.5. I already bet it earlier this week. Have way too much money on this game, but yeah, I think this could be the year that Penn State gets it done. Again, this is not the same, in my opinion, this is not the same of Ohio State of years past. So I'm going to take Penn State. I'm trying to go to the Michigan Ohio State game. So I'm hoping Ohio State drops one because the ticket prices are through the roof. So if Ohio State wins this game, I'm shit out of luck. But I'm thinking Penn State could maybe pull the upset. I like them at the plus 4.5. It's what I'm going to roll with. We'll see. I'm just excited to see both teams play competitive teams because, like as you said, Penn State hasn't played a whole lot. Ohio State played Notre Dame, who is going to end up being a top 15 team. They're fine, but I'm just excited to see finally a Big Ten top 10 matchup because, again, like you said, I don't think we really know what's going on in the Big Ten right now. Is Michigan good? Is Penn State good? Is Ohio State good? I don't know what's going on. So we're going to learn a little bit more this week, which is why it makes this game very tough to predict. Next, we have an SEC matchup. We have number 17 Tennessee traveling to number 11 Bama. Bama is a 9-point favorite at home. The over-under is sitting at 48.5. This is a little bit of a revenge spot for Bama. Last year, I believe they were at Tennessee. Very similar line. I think Bama was right around a 10-point favorite in this game. And Bama ended up losing. I think it was overtime. If not, like it was the last play of the game, something like that. So little revenge spot for Bama. Bama has one loss on the year to Texas. Decent loss. Bama definitely is not out of the talks for college football playoff, especially with Georgia being down. So I think Bama really takes control of this game. I like them at the -9. I know that's probably way too high there. But I think I'm going to roll with Bama. And I don't like it, but that's where I think I'm going to go.
I'm right there with you. Is that where you had me?
Where did I have you? I did. I did have you at Bama.
I'm on Bama. For me. I'm on Bama. Yeah, I mean, the revenge spot is the biggest thing in play here for me. That game last year, I remember it was super funky. I believe Kool-Aid McKinstry had a pick in the end zone that was going to seal that game for him. And then they called defensive pass interference on him, and it was a very tic-tac call. I remember that game had a bunch of weird turnovers. I believe that was the Bryce Young safety. He might have thrown an interception, and then they came back, so it was a safety. It was a lot of weird stuff going on. But yeah, this game was exciting. I believe it was 52-49 was the final last year. So through the roof scoring. But yeah, Bama doesn't get beat often in the Nick Saban era. I just saw earlier this week, the last time they didn't have 10 or more wins was like 07, I think. Like George Bush was in office and like first iPhone had just come out and like all this crazy stuff. So yeah, that doesn't make sense. George Bush was not in office in 07, but whatever, somewhere back in there. Anyway, yeah, I just think Bama probably has this game circled. I believe that was their first loss of the season last year. They went on to lose to LSU too, which is tough because they do have LSU on deck. So it's like a double circle spot here. Yeah, I'm just not too impressed with Tennessee, honestly. They have that one loss to Florida, which I was on Tennessee in that game. That one sucked. They didn't look good at all. Last year, they did have Hendon Hooker when they beat Alabama. Now it's Milton at quarterback, who I don't think is as good as Hooker. Yeah, I just think Bama comes out and rolls here. They've been struggling all year to kind of find out who they are with their quarterback revolving door. But yeah, I just think they're only going to get better as the year goes on, like they always do. I think this is just a really good spot for Bama at home to come out and beat Tennessee by double digits. So I'll lay the 9 here. I actually kind of like the under. Okay. I know last year was over 100 points, which I think a lot of people are going to see and think it's going to go over again. But Tennessee was so much better last year than they are this year. So and Alabama has not scored like the typical Alabama. So I like the under, like Alabama.
Yeah, it's an exciting game. I think Bama honestly rolls, so I think we're in agreement on that one. Our third conference, we get pretty much all Power Five except the Big 12 this weekend, so that's exciting. Our third new conference, we have the ACC matchup between number 16 Duke traveling to number 4 Florida State. Florida State is a 14.5 point favorite. Over under in this game is 49. Again, I am 99% sure I have you on the right side of this game, so go ahead.
Yeah, I have no strong opinion on this game
Oh, okay, that's
whatsoever.
not a good start.
Um, I would lean with Duke plus the points.
Okay, 3 for 3.
I lean Duke. Yeah, I mean, I think last week was kind of that get right spot for them against NC State. They had that loss to Notre Dame. They really cannot afford another loss. Florida State, on the other hand, undefeated thus far. Obviously, don't want to lose. I mean, it'd be pretty detrimental to them if they lose, but they can afford it just a little more than Duke can. Um, this is the last ranked team as of right now on Florida State's schedule, so they just got to get through them, and then it's kind of smooth sailing from there. Um, which honestly might help Florida State get up for this one, but I just think Duke has more to play for. 14 and a half, it's right there. Like 13 and a half, I might side with Florida State. So it's just the slightest of leans. Um, yeah, I doubt I'll end up playing anything in this game. Obviously, we're talking about it because it's a ranked matchup, but I'm excited to hear what you have because, yeah, it's really just, I mean, 51% Duke, 49% Florida State for me here.
Yeah, I am on Duke as well at the plus 14 and a half. It's just too many points to me. I am a little nervous because Florida State's a weird team. When they play, it seems like when they play solid teams, like ranked teams, like the Clemson, they played LSU, both beat those teams. And those are big games. They get up for the big games, and then they'll go on and play Boston College and win by 2 points, and Virginia Tech and look terrible for 90% of that game. So Florida State gets up for the big game. So I'm definitely worried because this is the definition of a big game. But they fall asleep sometimes and are very beatable in certain aspects of their game. So I don't know. I think Duke, honestly, the Duke blew it against Notre Dame. They had that game in the bag. They blew it. Duke very well could be a top 10 team right now if they beat Notre Dame. I don't think they're worthy of a top 10 ranking, even with the win. Duke definitely has its holes in their system, but yeah, 14 and a half is too many points. I do think Florida State's going to win this game. I don't think Duke is going to upset them, but I definitely think they're going to stay within the 2 touchdown range. Again, I'm very worried because Florida State, for some reason, gets up for, or there is a reason they get up for the big games, but for some reason, the games that don't matter, they just fall asleep. And again, this game matters, so I'm a little worried that Florida State just comes out rolling, but I think Duke's gritty enough that they can hang in there. Another interesting part about this game, number one offense in the ACC, which is Florida State, and number one defense in the ACC, which is Duke. So top defense versus top offense. You would be smart to probably side of Florida State there with I think their offense is extremely powerful. You're well aware of their best wide receiver, Coleman from Michigan State. He's an absolute animal. Will Duke be able to stop them? I don't know. I think they'll be able to get some pressure at quarterback, but yeah, I'm excited for that game. I think Duke keeps it close. So for that reason, I'll take them at 14 and a half. The next game, ugly game, Pac-12. I hate the Pac-12, but we have number 14 Utah traveling to number 18 USC. This is the one I'm not too certain what you're going to have on this. So I'll let you go, but I think I'm probably on the wrong side.
This game's tough too. Late night special here. Well, kind of late night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Hopefully, I have a better feeling by kickoff because I would like to enjoy this game and bet on this game, but it's tough. I mean, Utah's defense is good. There's no doubt about it, and we all know USC's defense doesn't exist. Um, but I do side with USC after the ass kicking they just got from Notre Dame. I think I
Four
have
for
to lay the
four.
points. Yeah, have to lay the points with USC. Kind of same thing that gives them a little bit of urgency having that first loss of the year. Can't lose again. Caleb Williams struggled mightily last week. Um, think he's going to bounce back in a big way. He's still a really good football player, obviously. Just had a tough game, but yeah, I mean, Utah's defense is fully capable of shutting them down and probably winning this game outright. Honestly, I think we see a better offensive effort from USC. I'm not gonna say their defense is gonna be any better because, like I said, they don't have defense. Um, I love the over in this game. Feels super low, just because Utah is gonna be able to put up points on USC. USC should be able to score, even though Utah has barely given up more than like 3 touchdowns all year um, to each team. USC is the best offense they'll be facing so far. So yeah, I'll slightly lean on USC. I think you might be on USC as well, but yeah, yeah, I'd look forward to hearing what you have to say for this one too, because not a strong feeling for me.
Yeah, I'm on USC. I actually got them locked in at -6.5 earlier this week because I was anticipating it being a touchdown or a 7.5 point spread. So happy I got the 6.5. But yeah, I'm on USC for a couple of different reasons. Obviously, Utah's most likely going to be without Cam Rising. I don't even know if Cam Rising is going to play this year, to be honest.
Mm,
Hearing talks of a medical red shirt. He was kind of on the border of, I don't know if he was eligible last season to go to the draft. But he was kind of on the border this season of being potentially a first round draft pick, maybe a second round draft pick. I think he's going to fully redshirt and just come back next year. Probably run the Pac-12, honestly, with Bo Nix gone, Caleb Williams gone. I'm not sure if Penix is eligible to be gone. I think he is. So Cam Rising can easily just control the Pac-12, which there is no Pac-12 next year. So I got to remember that. But so I think he's in a medical redshirt. I don't think he's going to be back. And without him, Utah is just not the same team. They are in shambles offensively. They have a freshman quarterback, and then they have like a sophomore, junior quarterback who's just not good. Defense is amazing. I'll agree. Their defense is great. Their defense also shows holes sometimes. And USC's offense, as you just said, Utah hasn't played any team like USC's offense. So for that reason, I like USC. And for the reason I like it even more, USC is in what I think is like a triple revenge spot. They lost to USC last year in the regular season by 1 point, 42-43. They lost to Utah in the Pac-12 championship last year, got smoked by 23 points, 47-24. And then USC just lost to Notre Dame and got embarrassed on national television. We're number 10 and now fell all the way to number 18. Everyone's talking about USC and that they're frauds, which they are. USC is a definition of a frauds. I hate backing this team. But I just think there's so many different variables going into this game that USC has to win it. I am worried that Caleb Williams just doesn't care about anything because I think he's a piece of shit. But wanting ownerships in the NFL, trying to determine what team he's going to go to. You can't even beat Notre. Like, you got to be able to play, my man. So, anyways, I'm still going to be on USC. -6.5 is what I got it, but -7 I'm okay with. I think USC wins this game. I also agree. I like the over. USC is capable of scoring 53 points themselves. We've seen it all year long. Struggled last week against Notre Dame, scoring 20 points, but they also gave up a crap load of points as well. So I know Utah's offense is trash, but I could see Utah scoring 2-3 touchdowns, and I think USC could score 4 or 5 touchdowns easily. So agree with you. I like the over, but yeah, unfortunately, going to have to side with USC, even though I despise this team. And now, not a ranked matchup, but for us, probably. Yeah, go ahead.
Quick follow up. First of all, I failed to remember that these guys played each other in the championship game last year. So yeah, love USC even more. Second off, Caleb Williams has bust written all over him. NFL bust. Like, the dude's not going to be good. I really don't think.
He's not going to have control of the locker room. His teammates are going to hate him. I just don't like the guy. Not one bit.
No. It's like Jamarcus Russell 2.0.
Yeah.
Let's be real. The guy's going to blow.
He just runs around in circles, throws to wide receivers that are faster than DBs. Like, he plays terrible defenses. Yeah. Joke.
And the Bears are going to take him. So let's go.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Yeah. And now, not the biggest game of the slate, but probably the biggest game for me and you. We have Michigan versus Michigan State over there. Michigan's number 2 in the country. Traveling to Michigan State. It is a night game. I believe you guys call it the shed now, or the barn, or whatever, the woodshed, their stadium. I don't know. Whatever Tucker made it. I don't know if that's still a thing, but it's getting played at Michigan State Stadium. Michigan is a 24-point favorite. Over/under sitting at 46.5. This game, I don't know where you're going to go. Emotionally, I know which side. Logically, I don't know I know which side. So go ahead. I know I might be wrong on this one, but I just kind of went with your heart. So
Sparty money line.
Yeah.
So I play. No, but I actually do love Michigan State plus 24.
Okay. 5 for 5, guys. That's impressive. That's just me and Ethan. Just we talk too much. I know where his bets are going to be.
You do. Yeah. No, this isn't even a homer pick. I've stayed off the Michigan State game the last couple of years. I think the last one I was on, well, it might have been 2 years ago, the Kenneth Walker 5 touchdown game. Um, but yeah, I just think, and I've said it to you multiple times, Michigan just straight up doesn't give a damn about Michigan State whatsoever. It's not a game on their schedule in the last few years that they've really even probably had circled or cared about. Um, Michigan State on the flip side, this is everything. This is the one game that they want. Night game at home. They've showed in the last couple games they can hang tough. Obviously, Michigan's way better than Rutgers and Iowa, but on paper, Iowa and Rutgers way better than Michigan State, and Michigan State arguably could have slash should have won both of those games. So, yeah, I just think Michigan State cares way more. So I just think 24 is way too many. Even last year when Sparty was probably just as bad as they are right now, maybe a little touch better, but I mean they were terrible last year. Michigan was as good, maybe even a touch better last year, touch worse. I mean they're right around similar to where they were last year. I believe that was 33-7
Yep.
last year. So yeah, right by that 24 point mark. But I just think since there was a blowout last year, since Michigan's national championship contender
Favorite,
favorite, yeah,
which is disgusting.
yeah, I just think 24 is too many for a night game at home. Um, yeah, like I said, Michigan just doesn't care. They have Penn State to worry about. They have Ohio State to worry about. Yeah, little brother fights more than the big brother. They just kind of stiff arm, stay away from me. Um, yeah, 24 is too many in my opinion. So I will be betting this game for the first time in a little bit. Um, but yeah, I assume you're maybe on Michigan, but
Yeah, I am. I'm on Michigan at the -24. I hate it. This game terrifies me for every reason you just said. Michigan really, I think they have a bye next week. They don't care at all. They have a gauntlet coming up. Maybe they don't have a bye next week. They have something, then they have a gauntlet. They have Penn State, Maryland, Ohio State. This game means absolutely nothing to Michigan, as you just said. Michigan is planning on going in and just doing what they always do, just slow pace, probably go down in the first quarter like they do in every freaking game, and then just slowly come back. But yeah, this game terrifies me. As you, like, State doesn't, their season's done. They've lost 4 straight games. They lost their coach. They are, yeah, losing recruits. Like, this is just all they have right now is to beat Michigan at home, night game, like you just said. Alcohol is now back in the stadium at Eastland, so it's gonna be super rowdy. Um, Michigan's came in flat multiple times this year. They came in flat last week to Indiana. Michigan cannot come in flat this game because if State gets any glimpse of um, Michigan looking bad or any type of thing that's going to motivate State, they're going to take advantage of that, and it could get ugly for Michigan. I think Michigan ultimately wins it no matter what, but this could be a game where Michigan just has issues and State hangs in there. But I'm going to have to go with this Michigan on the spread, despite everything I just said. Um, State's kind of had turnover problems. I know they have a new quarterback that they tried out. He looked decent against Rutgers, but they're still having turnover problems. They're having interception problems. They're having fumble problems. They're having special teams problems. And you can't do that against Michigan. Michigan will suffocate you on multiple aspects of the game. But if you start turning the ball over to Michigan, you're donezo. So I think State's going to have a turnover problem. I think Michigan maybe gets a defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown in this game. I just think Michigan ultimately is going to come out, hopefully show some heart to start like they did against Minnesota last week or 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I got to take my boys. Again, this game scares me. I backed off Michigan's spread last week against Indiana because 34 points was disgusting, and Michigan went down 7-0. We're up, or was tied 7-7, 4 minutes left in the second. I was like, thank God I didn't take that spread, and then Michigan exploded in the second half. So I most likely would be on Michigan. I gotta bet it. It scares me a lot, but yeah, definitely my least favorite bet. But super excited for the game at least. Again, State has nothing to lose. As a State fan, I think you guys are honestly in a great spot. No expectations. If you lose, whatever. But I think you could be on. I don't think there's any chance you win, but potentially upset watch late in the game. Like maybe come entering the fourth quarter, you guys could be in like a down by 7. So definitely worried about that. But got to back my boys. I dislike it, but got to ride.
have to.
Yeah,
If Michigan wants to win by 40, they can. So
yeah, yeah. It's just
I'll tell you this: if Michigan covers, I will come on to our Monday night show, our live on the 30th, day before Halloween, doing my best dressed like Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, okay. Okay. And this is if they cover.
That's if they cover.
Okay.
If Michigan covers.
If state covers, I will send you a voicemail of my best phone sex voicemail. No, I'll do something in regards to Mel Tucker. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I don't know if you want to listen to that, but
Oh, that's
I'll do
hilarious.
something with Mel. But yeah, I look forward to it. It's a nice little friendly wager. I'll come up with something that
Okay.
I'll do.
Yeah, I don't know if
Just
I'll have like any Michigan attire because that would
yeah,
involve me purchasing stuff, but I'll
yeah,
do the khakis, the tucked in polo, the
perfect,
glasses, shit like
perfect.
that.
Yeah,
So
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Mel Tucker just wears sweats, but um, yeah, I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out for that. Maybe I'll. I don't know if I have any state things. I might.
yeah, I might have a Michigan thing or two.
But I'll figure something out. But yeah, let's do a little friendly wager. I
Okay.
like that a lot. But as always, there are obviously more games this weekend. We will have a couple blogs out. Now that it is getting closer to the weekend, you can finally tail my plays. Don't tail it forever. Don't tail my midweek plays. I am now 0-12-1 giving out midweek. I haven't won a bet on blogs I've given out on midweek football. That's the best stat I've heard in my life.
You're undefeated if you fade.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
undefeated if you fade.
this was me last year, Wyatt. I was the most profitable guy at Better and Green. You just had to fade me.
And I guarantee you, every time I don't give out a pick, it's gonna win. But every time I write up on it, no chance of winning as of right now. But you did bring up a nice thing. Next week, October 30th is our live on Monday, but October 31st, Halloween. But also, guess what's back?
Maction, baby.
Maction's back. Midweek football. Maction's back. Finally, get out of this Conference USA crap. Maction's back. Maybe we'll be profitable come Maction midweek football. But I look forward to that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, your team wins this weekend. Let us know what team you are rooting for. Let us know who's going to cover in that Michigan State game. But thank you, as always, Ethan, for hopping on. Good luck, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.